Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And welcome.
Welcome to the ARTyRV Glass Studio live stream tonight. My hair's still wet. Ran out of time.
But it's good because the new studio, y'all, is set up here at our home and we are so excited.
Yeah, we're excited tonight. We have a great little live stream. Have a good crowd here tonight, and we're so happy to have the new studio set up. I hope it sounds good, and everyone is here. And thank you all for coming. Thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, it's very exciting, Barb. We've had a a really good week this week, and it's only Monday.
It's only Monday, yeah.
So
we've been busy setting up the studio all weekend, and we welcome everyone to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know, is everything looking okay? What do you all think? Does the stream look all right to you? I see Art.
This is really good. I want to give a big thumbs up to our producer for getting everything set up and looking really nice for us this evening. And so it was really, I think it really looks good. I hope y'all like it. We don't have any lags tonight or anything. And just want to welcome everybody back to the show. It's Glass Night.
Now, is that our screen that's kind of going like that, or is that the...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get to get in here. I was running late, and I'm sorry
That's okay.
about that.
Yeah, we're happy to have Barb here. She was running late.
I was running late. So I hope you all have had a great week. We will be having a viewer showcase in, I think it's May the 6th.
First
so
Monday
it's
in May.
3 more weeks. So you guys have plenty of time to send in your work. And we hope to see you all May the 6th for the viewer
showcase. And some
showcase.
of y'all have been, posting some of your work as you're finishing it on our Facebook page too, and so we're getting a look at that. But I think when you send it to us, so that all of our viewers can see that beautiful work.
And Ed's got some good demos here tonight.
Well, I got some really pretty glass, Barb, for tonight.
Yeah, you do. So if you have any questions, just post them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer. I have one question that's already been posted, and we can start with that. And let's see what we have here. That was from Robert.
Hey, Robert. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, Robert wanted to know after he waxes and buffs his piece, can he or should he spray a sealant on it?
I don't recommend a sealant because you got your glass all nice and shiny, and all that's going to do is dull the glass up. Once it's clean and everything, frame it and hang it. You don't need to spray any kind of, not that I know of anyway. I mean, in the 43 years I've been doing this, I've never had to do that. So I would say the answer to that would be no, Robert.
No, I wouldn't. That's just something that might peel later.
Yeah, it could flake, almost like a clear coat.
Yeah, on the back of a mirror, you may want to use the spray sealant, but that's the only time that I would...
Seal any type of glass would be the back of your mirror for installing it and soldering it into a jewelry box. Right. Or any kind of panel. If you're going to add mirror into anything and hang it on the wall with like flowers around it or something, you always remember to seal your mirror edge after it's sanded.
I hope everyone made it through those storms okay. I know our friend Ray in Pittsburgh, his city was hit pretty hard. What other states got hit? Ohio?
And all the way across up into New York and over that way. Ray sent me some pictures, and pretty much a lot of downtown Pittsburgh was flooded. I mean, really flooded. Not just a lot of water, flooded. So,
yeah.
And but hey, we're happy that Ray made it. He lives on top of a hill.
Yeah, Ray said he lives on top of a hill, so he was good. So if you have a question, just put it in the chat. We'll be happy to answer.
And put a Q in front of it. I'm sorry, Barb. Put a Q in front of it so it's easy for us to find,
put
please.
A Q in front of it. So what else is going on, Ed?
Well, everything. And pretty much right off the bat, those of you that donated to the media project for ARTyRV, this is it right here. Our new lighting, our cameras and everything. And we have, Mary's not in the cam, but she'll be around sometimes. She's laying on the rug,
Yeah,
a
we
little bit
haven't
left of her married cam.
She hates the camera.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, she's kind of funny. So, but anyway, yeah. So we got some of the things that you've seen before. Some of the things you haven't seen before. A lot of you, well, none of you have ever seen part of our glass collection from other artists, and we have some of it here in the studio, and we're really happy to be able to.
And we'll change it up a little bit each time. I think we've got some issues with the
it's with our screen.
Just our screen.
Just our screen.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's the Mac Mini or
I
whatever.
think it's the extension.
But it
cord
keeps
we're
it
using.
keeps cutting in and out. We're just getting brighter, and unless it's happening to y'all, which I don't think it is. And but anyway, somebody.
I think it's my Mac Mini.
Yeah, let's get some questions in. And Carol, I want to thank you for sending me a photograph of that 400 piece of work that you've been doing.
It's beautiful.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I hope you do get it finished for the viewer showcase, because everyone will thoroughly enjoy that piece.
Don't stress out over it. There's always another one next month. So.
Yeah, there's another
It's a
one
lot
in
of
June,
work.
Carol, so don't worry about that, hon.
Yeah. So welcome to everyone here tonight. I see a lot of members. I see a lot of new people. If you have a question, just put it in the chat. I see a couple questions coming in now. And also welcome to Bobby from Scotland.
Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Is it Bobby? Yes. Catherine, what time is it in Scotland? Okay, Catherine's in Scotland. Okay. I don't know what time it is in Scotland either. What time would it be? Goodness.
Maybe 6
Morning?
hours ahead of us, maybe 6.
Okay. All right.
And
Do we get a walkthrough tour of the new studio? Not tonight, but we'll plan on doing it soon.
sure we will.
We don't have all our cords. We don't have all our
We still have
cords
to zip everything
fastened
together.
We're kind of just in the middle of getting the cords all situated, so we don't want to trip over anything.
Yeah.
But
And-
we have new lights. We have a new monitors. We have a new computer coming in tomorrow.
Which that'll help us with our problem fading in and out. But
Yeah. Got a new boom. Yeah, we'll give you a walk around and show you everything. Maybe.
we weren't even sure if we were going to make it do this here tonight, or we are going to do it in the other studio. So,
Yeah, we're still in transition. So,
Yeah.
but it's looking good. Everything's looking great. And if I had another camera, we've got 3 cameras, and we got one on Mary,
Mary.
but she's not participating tonight.
No, she's not.
She does not.
She doesn't do cameras.
She doesn't like the camera.
She doesn't do cameras. very
And
well.
Les said he misses the sailboat. We'll be bringing the sailboat.
Sailboat's coming home.
We'll be bringing the sailboat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. Scott just gifted 5 ARTyRV glass memberships. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
That's
Scott.
awesome.
And I saw that you were tuned in tonight. And I hope everything's well in Virginia. And glad you're tuned in, and glad you're well, my friend.
That's great. That is awesome. You know, I think we've got 60 members now, and we're growing. We're growing, and we love it. So let's get to some questions. Ed.
Okay, Barb, let's do
Let
it.
me start here at the top. Let's see what we have.
Yeah, we'll give you all a grand tour. This is just
Julie wants to know, I have not checked yet. Were you able to add the rubber tips for the mini running pliers on your Amazon page? Yes, I was. I added them, and you can go there and get them. And make sure when you put them on, you put the little thing exactly where it needs to go, or you're going to be.
yeah, and a good way to stretch those, because they're a
Yeah.
little bit smaller. A good way to stretch those: heat the rubber grips up with your hair dryer a little bit, and then they'll slide right on. And then, of course, as they cool, they're going to shrink a little bit and hug it a little bit tighter.
Yeah, that's a good tip, Ed.
But yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, and Barb, thanks for getting those up on the
Yeah,
site
everyone
for
needs
us.
them. Everyone needs them. I think they come in a pack of 6, so you'll never run out.
Right.
You can share them with your friends at class. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Les, we'll get the sailboat here. We just haven't got everything over here yet. DW wants to know, before cementing a panel, do you go around and press down on the edge of the lead cane?
Oh no! Because what you want is when you're puttying that or glazing. When you're glazing your stained glass window, what you want to do is you want that glazing to get in between the glass and the lead, and a lot of times while you're pushing it in, it's going to run through to the other side. And then, of course, as you're cleaning it, it's setting a little bit. Flip your window over and do the same on the other side. The whole idea about glazing is to make both sides of the window waterproof, and also to center the lead center the glass in the lead so that you have a nice layer of glazing on both sides. And technically it's glazing, but it's also waterproofing. So whether you're going to put your window outside or not, it needs to be glazed. And if you do put it outside and it's glazed correctly, it'll be waterproof.
A lot of compliment. Thank you, Ed. That's a good answer. A lot of compliments on the studio. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you guys.
We've really had fun fixing it up. It was challenging, but it was fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because well, let's see. I don't think anything really crazy happened while we were doing it, did it?
Well, you went to the hospital. That was crazy.
Whoops.
I had a picture of him painting one day, and the next day.
Oh, hanging curtains, and the next day I was.
Yeah, we hung the curtains, and then we took him to the hospital the same day.
Same night. Yeah.
Same night, yeah.
But we got that straightened out.
Yeah, we got that.
It's all good, everybody. It's all good.
And let's see, it's 4 minutes past midnight in Scotland.
Okay. Wow.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a little bit 5.
So you were right.
Yeah, about 4 hours and 40 minutes, something like that. When I was in just a quick story while we're waiting on some questions. Oh, there's a question. Never mind. We'll get back to it.
Where? I think I answered that.
Before some. Oh yeah, you did before some minutes.
Okay.
So just a quick little story. While I was in the hospital, one of my nurses, his name was Ray, and oddly enough, that's part of my first name. And he had a brother named Eddie, and they're both nurses, and they both worked on the same floor. So we had a Ray Eddie, and he had this little geographical game that he wanted to play with me, because I thought I was like, Ray. I said, where are you from? I said, you from the Philippines or Okinawa? He's like, no. How well is your geography? And I said, well, it's pretty good. So he says, all right, well, you know where Thailand is? I said, yeah. And you know where Vietnam is? And then where Indonesia is? And I was like, yeah. And he said, well, I'm right there in between them. So I got to thinking about it, and I had all night to think about it, because when he came back to work the next night, he was actually from Burma, which is like right there in the middle of both of them. And his family came to the United States in 2017 when they had this huge, massive flood in Burma, down on the southern end of it. And so his family all came. Anyway, he was surprised that I figured out, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I did look it up to make sure I was right, but he's from Burma. So anyway, we had fun, and he was really a great nurse. So
we need to do the thing for Scott. He bought 5
all right,
gift memberships.
Hang on, Scott. Here we go, buddy.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the new one.
That's the new one, guys. How about that?
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott, very much.
And I'm sure the new members appreciate it very much. He's got a lot of thanks out there, and that's very generous of you, Scott.
It really is.
We love you. Okay, we have a question from Carol.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Carol.
What kind of cane would you recommend for the edge of a panel before putting it in a wood frame?
I would just use 3/8 flat H, because what that does is the groove in the wood, in the stock wood that we use in our studio, is 3/8 of an inch deep, and I use the 1 3/8 wood, so the mathematics on it are very simple. If you're building a 12 by 12 frame, your long points are 14 inches, and that fits a 12 by 12 little panel quite well. So, but yeah, Carol, I would use a 3/8 flat H. And that should do the job perfectly, and none of the work that you're doing will be hidden inside the frame.
But you have to plan that from the start
Yeah.
when you're drawing it out.
When you're drawing it out, if it needs to fit somewhere, yeah, all that. Do the mathematics first. Hey, everybody, Ray's in the house tonight. Let's go ahead and get Ray a thumbs up, please. Here we go.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray, for everything you do.
Ray,
thanks for the pictures too, man. Woo! That's a lot of water.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray. Okay, let's see. Got a question from Karen. What is the best size of zinc to frame out before the wood frame? Project is 6 foot long by 14 inches wide.
Well, if you're gonna, you really need to use a flat U, and I would think probably 3/8. Again, because your groove is 3/8 of an inch in your wood, and of course you're gonna, if it's 6 foot long, you're gonna have the moldings made because the moldings are only 6 foot long. So you're gonna need more than 72 inches to frame a 6 foot window. So especially whether it's 14 inches wide or not, that really doesn't matter. But the height of it is gonna be your dilemma to frame it. You can use a biscuit joiner and put the frames, put the wood together, and then sand it and finish it.
I don't know if she's going to frame it or if it's going into a.
Yeah, if you're just gonna install it behind with some wooden molding, Karen, just use 3/8 U-shaped 3/8 U zinc. It only bites on 3/16 of an inch on the glass. It gets soldered to the lead, and as long as it's not in a door where it's going to be moving back and forth, you're fine using zinc on the outside. But I would use lead. I'm not a big fan of zinc. Y'all know that.
It's just harder to work.
Harder to work with. And when you put a soft metal and a hard metal, they work against each other. That's why I'm saying. And if you do it in a door, don't use zinc because it moves back and forth, and eventually your solder joints break.
Right.
So just be careful, that's all.
Okay, Jennifer wanted to know if we made that beautiful lamp behind us in the background.
It's all bullseye glass.
Yes.
Yes. Every bit of it is bullseye glass. And the base is solid brass, and believe it or not, we picked it up on the side of the road and redid it.
Yeah, we had 2 of them at one time.
Yeah, we had a pair.
And it's a very heavy real brass
heavy,
lamp,
yeah.
So it's perfect for that shade.
Yeah.
We've had it for many, many years.
And I think it's about 380 or 480 pieces of glass. That's not too bad. But it's all bullseye glass, and it's all aquamarine colors and stuff. So it's really pretty.
Yes, it is.
One of our favorites. That's why
Yes,
it's in our home.
Okay, Nicole said she just got the ruby flux that we recommended, but noticed it says it causes severe skin irritations. What precautions do you use when using flux?
Well, when you're using fluxes, you can use your rubber or your latex gloves, and that's not a problem. But just remember, what I try to do if I'm worried about that, I'll use a glove on the hand that I'm working with the flux with. But because remember, you got a hot soldering iron in your hand, and that's typically the only time you're fluxing. Just make sure you don't touch the latex gloves with the soldering iron, because it doesn't just melt the glove; it makes it stick to your finger, to your hand.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I wouldn't use gloves.
I wouldn't use gloves. What I would do is I would use your flux brush. I use a little tiny bit of flux in a little container, and you don't use a lot of flux anyway. And what I've started doing is I've started wearing like a cotton sleeve on my arms so that I don't lay my arms in the flux. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sleeves.
if you're soldering, you're working with heat, I highly recommend that you don't use any gloves. All of the acids, it doesn't matter if it's Ruby Flux or anybody's flux, it's all nasty. You just do the precautions to keep your fingers out of it if you can. And by, if you're using just a little bit of it and you're using the acid brush that you're using, and you're trimming the edge down to 1/4 of an inch, you shouldn't have a lot of flux floating around and all over the place for sure.
Okay. Lena, Carol R had a question. Did we get Carol's question? Thought we answered that.
We did with the zinc.
What
and
kind
the
of
lead.
cane
Yeah.
you recommend for the edge of the panel before putting it in a wood frame?
3/8 flat H.
3/8 flat H.
Lead.
Lead. Okay, unless I missed another one. Carol, did you see another one? Okay. I am Alan.
Hey, man.
Is that aloe behind you? Lots of homeopathic uses. No, it's
No,
not.
that's not an aloe plant. No.
No, it kind of looks like one, doesn't it?
It's a tropical, but it's definitely not. It's not an aloe.
I forget the name of it.
Beside it is the snake plant with the darker green leaves, but I'm not sure what the name of that plant is.
I can't remember.
I
I
forgot.
should know.
Yeah.
I'll have it for you next week. Okay. The piece that's behind Ed with the fluid red top, is that by Philip Nole? No,
No, that's actually a Kenny Pieper.
Kenny Pieper. And
That's a
you
Kenny
know
Pieper piece. North Carolina's Artist of the Year 2 years ago.
Yes. Kenny, if you're out there, hey, hope you're well.
Yeah, buddy. It's nice to see you, and I hope you are well.
KennyPieper.com if you want to look at his work. It's fabulous.
And he's from Burnsville, North Carolina.
Diane says, thank you so much. She's just starting out with stained glass and loving it, but it would be much harder without our videos.
Oh, God, that's...
Thank you.
Thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really kind. So we're working on some other projects. We're getting started on some new projects. We have a full class this weekend, Barbara, a beginner class.
We do.
And remember, our beginner class is a 2-day, all weekend, get in it, let's learn how to do glass. There she is. And let's learn how to do glass. So we do 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Saturday with lunch in between served there at the shop. And then Sunday, our beginner class, we finish everything up. It starts at 10, we're done at 3. And typically we try to get at least 2 projects in. And of course Sunday includes lunch as well. So it's a fun-filled weekend of just doing glass and learning. In our beginner class, remember y'all, I teach you how to cut glass the right way so that you don't get frustrated. And then we have a class of a lead cane class that's in May, and that class is full. I am Alan's coming down for that class.
Yeah, looking
along with some
forward.
other.
Yeah, looking forward to
We're
those
looking
classes.
forward to it.
So we have classes for the rest of the summer. I think we have some vacancies. Go online, take a look at conwayglass.com, and check out what classes are available. I think we have 3 or 4 spaces open, and in each one of the classes. So
Yeah, so if you're having trouble cutting glass, or you're getting frustrated because this keeps happening, our beginner class teaches you how to eliminate all of those things. So, and it gives you the confidence you need to move forward. I
that's
think.
right.
Yeah.
Carol wants to know, would that be lead or zinc cane for the edge?
I would do lead, Carol.
Okay. All right. Do we have a...
Yeah, and
Boy,
if
a
you're
lot of
using
people
the,
here
what I
tonight.
use the, I'm sorry, Barb, go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Carol, I use a number 2 lead, which it's 2 things. It has a high heart, and it's very heavy. It's heavy duty. So it's not like just the regular 3/8 flat H lead. It's a little heavier, and I find out that it just works better for my projects that I do.
Okay. Let's see here. Robert says his wife wears hot glue finger guards. I guess she makes her own.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
I don't know. Jennifer asks, when working with flux on a sun catcher sized project, I use gloves the whole time I'm soldering so I can pick it up and move it around to get the back and edges.
Right,
yeah,
but
those
you don't
heavy
use
gloves.
latex gloves, though.
You use those heavy gloves. I like to use those too because
Yeah.
you don't burn yourself.
Yeah, because
By accident,
you're
of
holding it
course.
like this, and guess where the solder goes? It goes right there. while you're trying to beat up that edge, you know. So it's very difficult. And everyone, here's the thing.
Yes.
You guys, listening to how everybody handles the flux thing, this is everyone's own, it's your own technique. And when you share techniques with other artists, those artists will pick them up, and hopefully they'll share your techniques and their techniques with someone else. So we get this whole thing going on, and everybody's doing different techniques, but we're all learning from each other. So that's really great. And thank y'all for sharing your techniques.
Yeah, it helps everyone when you could share what you have going on. I hope you guys will mentor someone and help them along. Let's keep this craft together. Keep it going together for future generations. It warms my heart to see everybody chipping in and helping others.
And don't forget, if you have a brick and mortar stained glass shop in your town, definitely patronize them. Most stained glass shops are not against ordering something for you if you need it or what have you. So just, make sure you patronize them and thank them for staying in business, because the retail business with the internet is very tough. So.
Okay, I hope I'm not skipping questions. If I am, just shout out to me and let me know. Les wants to know, does Ed like to work from the light box or patterns?
I would prefer to work from the light box, Les. I just, I don't know, like right now I'm working on this guy and he's dressed up and I'm having so much fun with his clothing, because he's not just the guy going to church, he's the guy standing in the marsh catching fish. And, the sun's out and he's a really bright looking guy. And so I'm having fun on the light box because I can see exactly what I'm doing. And so, yeah, Les, I prefer to work on the light box. Matter of fact, I would say probably 90% of the time I'm working on the light box, Barb.
Yeah,
right?
Unless he's doing copper foil projects. And, of course, most of the time he'll use patterns for copper foil.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Anytime you're doing copper foil. And I still make patterns using the light box, because some of the glasses that I'm using, you still can't see through. So you do need to make a pattern of it, trace it onto your glass, and then, the light box will give you enough where you can see what's going on in the glass less, but it's not going to give you enough for the lines to pop through so that you can actually physically cut the glass.
Carol wants to know, what is number 2 lead cane for the edge? Where is it available?
Okay, so the number 2 lead cane is a number for what's called high heart lead. So the lead is a little bit taller. It receives heavier glass, and it's stiffer because it's a little bit thicker. So for instance, let's just say, Carol, in a 50-pound box of lead, you get 45 pieces of 3/8 flat H of the number 1 lead, but in the number 2 box, you're only going to get about 41. You're going to be short 4 pieces because you're making the extra weight up in the lead itself. Yeah. So you're getting 45 pounds of lead. You're only getting 41 pieces of lead because it's thicker and heavier.
Yeah, and that way you can work with different textures. Is that what it's?
Yeah, because the high heart represents you can put thicker textured glass in it without disrupting the disrupting the edges of the lead, and it's more again, the lead is more rigid than just the basic lead.
Okay.
We use all of our lead in the house is all number 2, because there's no reason to buy 1s and 2s, because I find myself these days using more textured glasses to create the looks that I want or that we want in our windows when they're completed. So it just makes it easier, boom. Yeah, I need a box of number 2 3/8 flat H. I need a box of 1/4 inch round H, number 2. So you just do everything number 2. And again, it's a little bit taller so that the textured glasses fit much easier, and you're not having to take your fid and open up the lead. So
yes. I am Alan. said that if it smells like chicken, you're not holding it right. Ouch. Beware.
Yeah, beware. That's good, man. That's good. I am Alan. I like that. That's very good. Yeah, that's very good. I like it.
That happens every once in a while. Gloves make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, because you have some pink heavy duty gloves, kind of.
I have pink ones. I have black ones too
Yeah, you have
that I
black
use.
ones,
Yeah. And they've saved me. What was that? I just saw something come up. I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So hey, just want to check in real quick. I don't know how many of y'all got to see Billy Joel last night in Madison Square Gardens, but wow.
It was great.
He does that once a month. I need to make a month where we can go for that.
It was fabulous. That concert
man.
was great.
Yep.
He can still sing.
He can.
Oh my
he
gosh.
can hit those high notes just like he used to when I was little.
That's right. And have y'all heard about the new Seinfeld movie coming out about Pop-Tarts? It looks really funny.
Yeah,
so
it looks funny.
I think it comes out May 12th or something like that.
Yeah, Seinfeld was on in the morning show, one of the morning shows the other day, and was talking about it. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Let's see. Linda said she loved it. Yeah, it brought back a lot of memories. Those old Billy Joel songs. I grew up with them.
Yeah. Well, he said last night, I don't have anything new, so I'm just going to have to sing you the same old stuff.
It was lovely.
And his band, y'all, they are still...
the saxophone. I think he had 3 saxophones.
They are still top notch.
And then Sting showed up. That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
So it was a good show.
Anytime Sting shows up for anything, it's good. So.
Okay, so Ed, would you like to do a demo?
Well, we can
while
because
they're thinking of their questions.
Yeah, and I past couple of weeks, and I haven't had any. Was asked to cut some textured glass bar.
Okay.
So I grabbed a small piece of Oceana. I don't have a part number for you. I do know it's Oceana because it's stamped in it. And it's a textured glass. It feels like to me, it feels like a mossy, but Oceana has their own texture, and they also have their glasses that are modeled, and they're not, Oceana isn't the easiest glass to cut. It tends to, to do things a little bit crazy, and I think I'm just gonna have to get out my Silversmith 3000 on this. No, this is my Silversmith. I'm sorry, my 2000. So because I left my glass cutter that I keep in my pocket at the shop because I didn't have a pocket, so it's not in my pocket any longer.
Oh.
But there's a couple things. So tonight not only do we have a piece of Oceana that we're going to cut, and it's probably going to break wrong, but it's also probably going to break right. There's always that chance. And as you all have seen in the past videos, glass even breaks funny for Ed. So it's not, I'm not.
They saw last week.
I know. I'm not limited to just everything comes out, because I can promise you it doesn't. And what I've done today also is I have my tool chest here, but I've got out my Silversmith running pliers, and we've had a lot of really good things said about the Silversmith, and that everybody really likes them. The other thing is first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a straight line on this, and we're just going to see how it breaks, and we'll square up this piece of glass. So we're right here, and remember, on this, the way the angle is on the Silversmith brass handle cutter, and then the nut that holds the cutter on to the brass handle itself is in the back, and then this angle here, I'm going to turn it around, and I keep the screw in the back, and you can see it right there. The new cameras are showing everything up really nice, but let's see what this sounds like. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like we're in trouble. So I'm going to take my Silversmith, and we're right here somewhere. I see it now. And, okay, so here's the thing. Oceana glass, their annealing process is not really that great, okay? But eventually, you know, like this'll come out just pretty much anything that we want to do with it. And remember, whether it's textured or not, always use the same amount of pressure. Now this, I've got my grousing pliers on right here. We're going to try and take this half circle out. Now because I've got this end with my hand on it, it's going to be pulling down because I'm using my hand, not my pliers. I'm holding the glass. And what's going to probably happen is when I pull down on this, it's going to run to its weakest point, which is going to be over here. So there's, as it came around that curve and I'm pulling down with my right hand, it ran to its weakest point, which happened to be, once it got here, it couldn't make the rest of that curve. So that's why it goes out that way. So now I'll just come back over here with my grousers and I'm pulling. See, what I'm doing is I'm using my index finger knuckle and my thumb. I'm only holding the glass, just like this. That should move in there just like that. You're only holding the glass rather than squeezing it and trying to break it. So we're going to take this and we'll go a little bit more. Now this Oceana glass, remember I've told y'all in the past, if it's really textured on both sides and the side you have to cut on is pretty intense texture, remember, slow down so that you don't jump over top the texture, because that will just kind of pretty much ruin everything. But I want you to see this glass, it is definitely not even. This is the back side, the heavy texture side. And even this side, and you can, let me see if I can't get it in, there you go. See that there it is. Look at the texture on that. So when if you're running, I'm gonna set this out of the way because again, we're in the new studio, and so we're gonna have to be careful with our, what we're doing with our shards and everything. So this cutter again is really sweet. But I always want to, because this is texture too, and you can hear it. I'm going to go slow. And I'm going to take my silver snit and I'm going right on the glass again. And we're going to see if it'll break. And no, it's not. So those of you that want to use Oceana glass in some projects, typically what I would say Oceana glass is probably best for is flowers, because you end up getting a lot of small stuff, and flowers work really well on small pieces. But this is kind of and you know what, it's not Oceana, all of it's not like that, because I've got Oceana going in some projects now and it's easy to work with. But you can see what it does, and you can also see how it breaks, okay? So I don't get frustrated or disappointed or lose confidence just because a few pieces of glass break, because they don't always break correctly, whether it's for me or for you. It just doesn't happen. So this little next piece of glass that I have, I want you, those of you that say, oh gosh, I can't hear my cutter when I'm scoring certain glasses. Well, you're right. This is a canary yellow bullseye, y'all. This is a beautiful glass. It's fun to work with, but you won't hear your score. So we're going to take this and we're going to drop this cutter, the silver snit cutter, back in here. I'm going to come over here and I want to take my my silver snit 4000. Now this is for straight line cuts. You can cut patterns with it because it fits so nice in your hand, but what I want you to see is that you cannot hear I'm just going to put a dot here so I don't lose it. Know your limitations, everybody. So we're gonna put that, we're gonna make sure we're square. Here we go. So that little black dot represents my score line. Okay? Now, this glass here, again, it's a bullseye. It's the canary yellow. And I honestly believe that I can take this off probably with no problem. And I can. So this here's the difference from a company that pays attention to the science of the glass and anneals their glass correctly. It doesn't matter if it's opaque for bullseye, it doesn't matter if it's transparent, it doesn't matter if it's textured. Bullseye glass, y'all, it's expensive, but when you can start cutting glass, just take your time. Feel those little pockets, and just drive in. When you drive in, just drive right out. Don't worry about it. But you can take this right here. We're holding with this. See that? That's loose. We're holding with this. Underneath, down, and away. So, you can take this bullseye glass, and you can do anything that you want with it. And that's the difference between a company that pays attention to the science of it all, or just is rolling glass out and putting it in a leer and hoping that they got the temperature right from one end to the other.
Yeah, and
it has to be done correctly.
I think they're more concerned with reproduction and trying to make the glass look more like a reproduction Tiffany style glass, making it for lamps, and more of an art glass than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Bullseye makes art
they
glass
make it too. Yeah, they've
make
got
art
it down
too.
to a
Bullseye,
science.
That lamp is all bullseye glass, y'all.
That's
Let me
beautiful.
tell you,
Yeah.
it's absolutely
and
gorgeous.
And it's modeled, and it's much the same color as that, but it cut like butter.
Yeah, it's cut like butter. So I mean, there's a tremendous amount of science in this industry. Even though it's been around for several thousand years, a lot of the science is still being used from then. It's just gotten better. So, Kokomo, Wismac, not only do they pay attention to how the glass is mixed, how the colors are stacked, but they pay attention to the cooling process. There's Miss Mary. There she is, everybody. Miss Mary got her flea medicine on today.
Say hello.
Say hi to everybody.
She doesn't like the camera, but there she is. There she is. There's a little muffin head.
There's a little muffin head. Look at her right there. Hey. She's our baby girl. And she likes, y'all, she loved going to the other studio. But you know what?
She really
likes here because this is her home. And she...
Say hi. Say hi.
Say hi to everybody. She's telling you that the producer just took her for a WALK.
She just got
and we
that.
have to spell it because she knows when we say it.
Yeah, she goes for a couple of those things a day, and she loves them.
She loves them. Go
get on your little seat so we can get a picture.
So we can show everybody your new chair. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Get on your chair.
Okay.
So anyway, back to glass. If you're having trouble cutting it, it's usually not the glass itself. It's pretty much, the leer could have went down halfway through the process and then lit back up, and they never knew one from the other, and that could have happened. But the cooling process or the annealing process of the glass, y'all, is so very, very important.
Okay, the silver schnitz are on sale for $59.99. Is that what they are?
Oh, wow,
on
that's
our
a good
Amazon
price.
page. You can also go to our Amazon page and go to the studio project and see all the things, a lot of the things that we purchased for the studio. You can see those there. And let's answer some questions. Someone wanted to know the difference difference between the 2000 and the 4000 Silberschnitt?
So the 4000 is a fixed head glass cutter.
Do you have one there?
I do. I have one of each. So this is the 2000. Let's go on the cue there, B. So this is the 2000. As you can see, it's a bowl, okay? It is a fixed head, 145 degree wheel, but it has a great finger rest on it. The other thing it has is this little flat bar on the back end, and it can be used for breaking the glass. So in order to show you how that works, I'm going to take a piece of this. You know what this is? Everybody knows what Wismac 94 is. It's in 28% of the churches in the nation. And that's probably a low estimate because people use it all the time. And I replace it all the time in Windows. So, but what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you what this end of this cutter is used for. Just like that. We're going to score it. And you can put this underneath of that like that.
What you doing?
And you can break it like that, okay? So don't go putting your wrist on it and all that stuff. Use your fingers. Art glass, window glass, you can use your finger and push it down and break it. Art glass is a little bit too hard. Now keep in mind, this is a Wismac, and this is the 2000 cutter. Listen to this. Okay, and we just take that. Now remember, you know what I like to do when we're doing patterns. I like to push my cutter. So this is your Silberschnitt 2000, and now we're gonna break out the Silberschnitt 4000. So the difference in this cutter and the 2000 is the fact that the head depresses. And remember, guys, when you depress the head on your cutter, that's all the pressure you need, whatever that amount of pressure is. And it also swivels. So it's a pattern cutting. It's a pattern cutting cutter, and we're going to cut this pattern. Remember, when you're cutting patterns, you just stay up against that black line. You know, try not to get on it. You definitely don't get in it. And remember, you hear that? If I'm not going slow, I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. So I'm going to take my Silberschnitts again. Always remember, make sure everything's straight and what you need to do. I'm going to take that. There you go. Now when I went in that hole right there, y'all heard it, okay? So that's what happens. Sometimes it'll go in there, sometimes it won't. Now we're going to take this and we're just going to work our way. We're going to work our way right down. Take it, bring it down. Every hole is where it broke. But you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not worried about that because this is the piece of glass that I wanted right here. This is the one that I want.
And I think that's the difference between using your own cutter and then using a cutter you very rarely use. You get used to the feel and the
touch. And too, you know what? Here's just a basic cutter that I just keep laying on the table in case I can't find mine. This is just your basic cutter, you know, the budget cutter that's like $12, $18. Okay. So when you do that, and you can hear it, we're running over top of all this craziness going on there. But that's how you know. Again, y'all, hey, I'm not afraid of breaking glass. It doesn't run out just right for me either. You know, as much glass as I cut, a lot, not a lot, but some of it doesn't come out the way I want it to. But you know what? That's okay, because that just makes me human.
That's what you are.
And there's a lot of things that I can cut out of glass, but sometimes they just don't work out for me. as they don't work out for you. So
Anita said she would love to a lead versus zinc demo.
as far as a demo,
About not using zinc in a door. Oh no, we wouldn't do that.
yeah, well, I wouldn't do that anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't do a zinc panel in a door.
No.
Yeah. You know why? And I'm gonna tell you all this, and it's not a story, because we don't really have time for stories. But
Sure we do.
do we?
Yeah.
Well, there's a.
I remember.
I have
the repair.
repaired.
Remember that repair? The guy kept bringing it back.
Well, he kept insisting that it be put back together with zinc,
Right.
and I told him, no. Finally, and then I reinforced it the way it needed to be done, and then we put a piece of, this is his front entryway, and we put a piece of laminated safety glass in front of it. We built it out of lead, and then we reinforced it, notched the moldings, and we never had one more problem out of that. So here's the thing too, y'all. Keep in mind, if you have maybe a customer that's knows more about what you do than you do, just
You know
don't
you
do
have
the
one
job.
of those. Well, he kept insisting that it
Yeah.
had to be exactly the way it was. He wanted the zinc, and he'd take it, and 3-4 months later, he'd call,
Yeah.
he'd say, it's broke again.
The
because
solder
there's no
joints are coming loose. It was
flexibility.
wrong. So it doesn't give it any flexibility, and it doesn't matter if you reinforce the zinc. The zinc is well, to me, it's too stiff. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do for a long period of time. So anyway,
We don't have to deal with that.
definitely. But you see, that job not only stuck in my head, it stuck in her head.
I remember.
She
it.
remembered
It's distinctly.
And we,
it was
and we
aggravating.
remembered it at the same time. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I remember it.
You know.
I think I could remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I can too.
And it was 15 years ago, at least.
But eventually, he paid us to do it the way we've been telling him.
Three
He paid us
times.
3 times. And finally, he let us do it the way we needed to be done. And we haven't been back to the house since.
And we haven't seen him since.
I haven't
so.
seen him in 15 years.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway.
You know, boop, boop. I just tooted our own horn. But it's just so, y'all, it's, and you're going to find people that know a lot more than you do about what you do for a living, and they haven't got a clue.
Just keep your sense.
Just keep your
remain
sense of
calm
humor.
and keep your
Simmer
sense
down.
of humor. Simmer down and keep your sense of humor. That's the best.
Yeah, the best thing is to
quality.
keep your sense of humor.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they wonder what you're laughing at, but anyway.
You only laugh on the inside.
Yeah.
right? Only on the inside.
Yeah, you don't let it on the outside. So.
Anita wants to know how to spot poor quality glass.
You can't. You
Sometimes
can't.
you just get a piece that just
Well,
won't
now
cut.
I've heard of some glass that's been
Oh, yeah.
at the big box store,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cut well at all. So, but you know, my suggestion is if you go to your brick and mortar supplier, or if you use the manufacturers that are made in this country. Those of you, Oceana, Yakagani, those glasses are a little bit harder to cut, but don't lose faith. And a lot of those are reproduction glasses. So you're looking at glasses. If you love to build lamps, Yakagani's your glass, and so is Oceana. But you're going to have a little problem cutting it because of the way it's made. That's all. I prefer Yakagani over Oceana. So, but I also prefer Wismac and Kokomo over all of them. And then Bullseye, of course, if it's a very specific product or project, I will use their glass, even though it's probably it's expensive for a reason, y'all, because you can work with it.
Karen, you're looking for the jig for the framing. Look under gadgets on the Amazon page. It's there.
Yep.
Under gadgets.
Under gadgets, it's right there.
There's a little thing with a bunch of different cool stuff in it. It'll be there.
Yeah, it's a little yellow crazy box.
It's either yellow or blue. I think we got both colors there.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not sure. Whichever one was the best. We bought a blue one, but they make one in yellow. I think they make a red one. Okay, let's see. We have another question. Let's see. Any tips on cutting a 2-inch circle without a circle cutter?
Yeah, so draw your 2-inch circle on there and then go back to the beginning of when you were learning how to cut glass, and you cut your circle in a pinwheel, and as you cut it all, then you come back and you break it all, and then grinding's the tricky part, because if you put too much pressure on it, you're going to get a flat spot. But if you'll cut your circle in a pinwheel, and I can draw that for you so that you can see it. Let's draw it on this. I'm gonna draw it right on there.
Okay, hang on just a sec.
So we're gonna do a 2-inch circle. This is my 2-inch circle. Anyway, so what you want to do? Oh, I'm sorry, you got that. That's good. So you want to make your first cut go right there. Your second cut, bring it around, bring it around. You see how we're staying on that line? Bring it around, bring it around, just like that. There you go. So if you'll cut that in that pinwheel shape, you'll get a 2-inch circle out of it, and then just clean it up. That's the best way, because most circle cutters don't do, the smallest they do is 3 inches. So you'd be really hard pressed to get a 2-inch one out of a circle cutter. But if you'll do it the pinwheel way, that circle will come right out of there, and just clean it up with your grinder.
And you might have to tap it, right?
You might have to, but what you want to do when before you cut that circle, if you need a 2-inch circle and you're going to cut a 2-inch circle, start out with a 2 3/4 or 3-inch piece of square glass. Put your 2-inch circle in the center of it, and then use the pinwheel project, and I promise you it'll work.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed. That was nice.
Well, that's how I learned how to do it.
Okay, let's see. Have I missed a question? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got more.
That's good. That's awesome.
Is it possible to cut a large hole out of a piece of glass without breaking the outside?
It's possible, but typically it only happens in the movies. What happens when you cut a circle, guys, and we've gone over this before, is let's say we're going to cut a circle, and then you flip the glass over and you push down on the score. As you go around, you chase the run, and it's breaking it. Each time you push on that glass to chase the run, the glass turns just a little bit more. Each time you push on it. And I promise you, when you get this circle out of it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So you chase that run, and then you have to flip the glass back over, and then you just pop it, and it'll go snap, 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 and that takes care of this. And then you go in it. But the way that you can take a circle out of a rectangle, the best way to do it is score it, make sure it's broken all the way through, and then flip it over, make sure that it's broke so you can hear it. And then a lot of times the simplest way is you score it in like X's, like a lot of them, and then you just tap that, and then you take some cold air that you would clean your computer keyboard or whatever out of, spray it on that, flip it over, tap it in the center, and usually that'll come out for you.
Yeah, we've got 97 people in the chat
Wow,
tonight.
that's awesome.
Give us a thumbs up if you can. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps the channel to grow. And it tells the algorithm that we're doing a good job, and they keep on sending it out there.
Yeah.
And
So
helps
don't
us
forget,
grow.
if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so.
Thank you, guys. Wow, 97 people. You guys are something.
How'd you find that out, Barb?
Someone just posted it.
Oh,
Magali
okay.
posted it, and she's been crying because you've been cutting that pretty glass.
Magali, I saved some for you. We'll see you in
At
May.
least it wasn't iridized, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I
too.
saved some iridized for you. And Magali, I don't know if you have any cranberry iridized, but I have a small piece of that for you too.
I am, Alan said, sometimes the glass is just a jerk, and this is so true.
It is, and but here's the thing, y'all. Even when the glass is is being a jerk. Don't lose your confidence, because you're not the only one that it happens to. It happens to all of us.
Yes,
so,
it does.
Yeah, it does.
You can't cry about it.
No.
gotta
But you know
just
what?
keep
It's
working.
really, it's a little bit different. So this piece of glass, this is a bullseye here, and this is the back side. And I'll show it under the small camera and see if I can't get the texture. But so this is like a cat's paw texture, and it's a bullseye. And then this side, it's still kind of textury and rolls around a little bit, but it's going to be much easier to cut. I put the wrong cutter in the wrong box, everybody.
No.
Yeah, let me get my 2000 in here. And I'm just going to use, again, this basic cutter. So again, when I started out on that, you didn't hear the score. Why? Because this is all white. And when I got down here, you could hear it. This is a really nice glass to work with, y'all. And if you notice, it's probably not quite 1/8 of an inch thick, but it's close, and it'll definitely putty up really nice or waterproof in your window. So because of this, we can go up here where it's white. You're not going to hear the score. And then when we get down to the blue, which is what? Soft glass. Blue is soft, white is hard. It'll run right out for you. And those are the things, when a glass is going to do well for you when you can lob off 1/4 inch pieces off of it. Because, that represents, that's going to tell you, typically what you can kind of decide on is if the glass is 1/8 of an inch thick, you should be able to at least take 1/4 of an inch off of it and make it work. So 1/4 of an inch, y'all, is going to be that big right there. And again, this is a bullseye. So let's see if it works like I think it will. Yeah. So I know that the rest of this, whatever I need it for, which might be a vest on this little guy that I'm working on, this is going to work out just fine for me, Barb.
It's nice glass.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Excuse me.
DW wants to know, do all glass sheets come with a straight factory edge?
No. Most of them are going to, a lot of the sheets will come with a rolled edge, what I call a rolled edge. And you might get one square edge on the sheet if that's the edge that they cut when it came out of the leer while it was still warm. But most of the time, let me see, Barb, I got an edge here. Most of the time you're going to get an edge like this right here. You're going to get an edge like this. Hang on, I'll lay it down a little bit.
Unless it's oceanside, right?
Unless it's oceanside, and they, everything comes from them is lobbed off and squared. So even this Oceana, okay, this is the factory edge here. And then they stamp their stamp in it while it's hot, Oceana. Okay.
And if you're coming in late, no worry, you can watch it on the rerun. You can just, when it ends, just go back and watch it again. We leave these live streams up for you to watch whenever you want to.
All the time. So if you're having a dilemma with cutting something and you're like, oh, what happened? So go back, watch the video if you need to, and maybe this will just kind of refresh you and say, oh, well, I can do that. So yeah, let's get back to it. The other thing I can tell you is if you're working with a piece of glass or any glass and you're working on a project and just something's not going just exactly the way you think it is, we all know what to do. You get up and walk away. And when you come back, you have a whole different look on what's going on. The glass looks different. The pattern looks different. Your cutter feels different in your hand. And then get back to work.
Relax.
Relax, though. Really relax, because, there's a lot going on. It's like cutting glass is like playing golf. There's a lot of things to remember before you start. So just kind of, if you'll throw all that in, you'll be good.
Okay, here's another question. What number was the blue glass and who makes it?
The blue glass is just a bullseye. I don't have a part number on it, but it's a bullseye. It's a blue and white streaky model.
That was Pauline's question. Hey, Pauline.
Hey, Pauline, got your package?
She did. I told you she did.
I know she did. And you know what? The reason I wanted to surprise you is because you have surprised Barb and I before. So I thought I would
He got that right out for
get
you.
right out to you and get it to you. And so let us know how that project works out with the glass that we sent you.
Carol says, sometimes when soldering, I slide the iron off to the side and the solder jiggles, causing a couple of lines to form. How do you keep the solder from jiggling when you slide the iron off to the side?
You don't slide it, Carol. Try picking straight up. Try picking. So when you're coming down and you're soldering and you're done, pick straight up. Don't slide it. Just pick straight up.
Try that.
Try that, Carol.
Alice said, if you do end up having corrosion on a piece that has black patina on it, what is the best way to clean it?
You just take and steel wool it again, eliminate it, and then you can put patina on it again. But if you can't just do it in one section. If you messed up on one section, the best thing to do is steel wool it, then wash it again with baking soda and water. Make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned, and then make sure that it's thoroughly dry. Right, Barb?
That's right.
Because if it's not dry, it's not going to do what you want it to do anyway, and you'll be disappointed.
I like to let pieces dry overnight.
Yeah,
so
Barb
that it's
does.
totally dry. Yeah. And you'd be surprised what that steel wool and some baking soda and some dish soap on that piece will make your solder just shine.
Right.
And then patina it.
And
when it
remember,
dries.
if you're doing copper foil, don't use 50-50 solder if you're going to patina it, because the patina works the best. It's not that it doesn't work with 50-50, it works the best with 60-40.
And that steel wool will take that corrosion right off.
Yeah, it sure
doesn't
will.
take much to get it off of there. And you'll have to, sometimes those sun catchers, depending on how old they are, how long they've been in, the humidity.
Right.
Is basically what causes that, is the humidity.
Yeah, the salt air, like where we are, everything gets real salty because we're only like 15 miles from the ocean. And if we get a good offshore breeze, or a good onshore breeze, the salt comes all the way over here. So,
I am Alan wants to know what you do with those factory edges.
a great thing that we used to do with them, I'm Alan, is we would use them in jewelry boxes. They
So the
were part
front-
of the lid.
The front lid.
The front lid. When you pick it up, because they're already finished, you don't have to grind them. They're so sweet. As long as you make sure you grind the other three edges and clean them and foil them correctly, Alan, you are good to go. But the wavy, rolled, fire polished edge from the factory makes really pretty glass. And you know what you can also do too, Alan, is you can, if you're into fusing, you can use one glass on the background and then cut a piece of glass laying over top of it narrower, and then laminate the two together in the kiln so that you get that edge coming down. That also looks really pretty in a border.
Ray wants to know if our new studio is at home. Yes, our live stream studio is at home. Our other studio, we've got a couple of different places within the main working studio, right. And it's still in the location where we used to do the live stream. We've just moved the live stream at home so we can spend a little bit more time
with you guys,
talking to you guys live.
Yeah, because we don't do the milkshake thing anymore. Ed can't have any.
So we have to keep busy.
So we're trying to stay. Yeah, we're staying busy, and Barb and I. This is again, y'all. The media project happened because of you guys and Barbara. So those of you that made a donation to the media project, thumbs up to you and hugs. And don't forget that, because we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. And I think it's going to give us long-term success here. We've got a couple more things coming up, and it's going to be good for us. We'll be able to spend more time.
Yeah, and it's going to confuse Mary because she's used to going home.
She's sleeping right here under our feet.
She's right here, and she had
right
she had
when
a
we
big
don't
dinner.
have a camera.
We have to we have to remind her to eat when we were going to the shop, to the YouTube studio, and now she did eat today, and now she's just being sassy and lazy.
Ray said my shirt looks like stained glass. It does in the camera. I can see it in the
pretty.
camera. It does look like stained glass.
It's pretty.
So, do you have any more questions? Just put them in the chat, and we'll be happy.
We'll try and answer them for you, and if not, maybe some of our viewers can answer it.
Yeah.
If it's something that, a lot of things. And again, you guys know us. I don't claim to know everything, but in 43 years, I've done a lot of it, and I'm definitely just tickled to be able to share what knowledge that I have with you guys, and hope that it helps you along within your project. So.
Yeah, now we can roll out into our living room. Yeah, that's right. And it'll give me more time to edit and work on videos here at the house. So.
Yeah, because we got so much going on at the shop. It's not, Barbara doesn't need to be there every single day. Well, we got puttying going on and all that. I mean, she can stay here and get some videos edited, come in and shoot at the studio, and then come home and edit in the peace and quiet, and not have to listen to worry about the phones and all that.
Spend time. Mary sleeps right under my feet when I'm working here, so she loves it.
Yeah, she likes it.
Is there an ARTyRV Facebook group? There's an ARTyRV Facebook page, so you can find that on Facebook. We've got a Conway Glass Facebook page.
Yep.
I've got a Facebook page. Ed's got a Facebook page, and ARTyRV has a Facebook page. So please join us. We don't have a group because we answer questions here, and we really don't have to. If we had a group, we'd be answering questions there. We'd be answering. I don't think
one night a week is all we can handle.
I don't think I could keep up with y'all. Maybe when I get a team to work,
Right. Carol R. just popped up with another question. Hey, Carol.
If a rolled edge has sharp points from burst bubbles, how do you soften that?
A lot of times you'll have to reheat that. But what happens when glass is heated and it gets a little too hot, all glass, it shrinks, okay? And when it shrinks, it's when it'll leave those little burrs on there for you. And sometimes you can take them off with the grinder and a little bit of sandpaper. But most of the time, like when we were doing jewelry box lids, Carol, we would try not to use those pieces that had shrunk and had those little burrs on them, because once you start to grind it, it changes the whole look of the natural look of what's going on with the glass.
And then sometimes it has printing on it, like that does.
Yeah, so like this edge here says Oceana on it, and so we don't want to use that.
Question.
Bullseye has the prettiest edge.
Yeah, they do.
And
their
you know
edges
that,
are
Carol.
usually
They're right
nice.
down the street from you.
Yeah. Question. Janie has a question. How do you wrap wire leaf onto twisted wire stem? How do you wrap wire leaf onto twisted wire stem?
How do you wrap it? If you've got a twisted wire stem, you need to attach it with a small solder joint and attach it all the way up. You can't like take twisted wire, and then take other twisted wire, attach it to it, and tie it in a knot or something, because I don't think that would work, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so if you got a twisted wire stem and you want to put decorative wire up it onto the top, each place you touch the two wires together, you need to have a very definite but very small solder joint to hold it in place. That sounds like an overlay to me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the question mark.
I don't know. Question, Ed. The lead knowledge you will be teaching me next month will go toward my project of placing a half panel 24 by 38 in my front door.
Awesome.
Good. We're happy to help you
Yeah.
with
Well, then
you will learn enough to do that.
Yeah.
You will learn
Oh, yeah.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
should definitely will be able to do that, I imagine.
Pauline says I need to make some cuts. They're like a quarter size circle, half circle. Got any suggestions?
Pauline, I would use the pinwheel way again, and except for what you may need to use 2 pair of grousing pliers, one to hold the circle and the other to pull the run off. And then just take your time again. Take your time again grinding it, because you can make it round. And if these are the pieces you're talking about firing in your small kiln, then you definitely want to make sure that your grinding is right on the way you want it to look, because when you heat them, they're going to shrink a little bit and every little flat spot will show up. So just be careful. And that's a shiny, shiny piece of glass I sent you. I loved it.
Carol said that she gets bullseye tips and tails for great prices, but it often has sharp points.
Yeah, a lot of times
Parts.
because it's hot when they're picking it up and putting it away, and then it starts to shrink. And a lot of times, most of y'all will recognize those little sharp points if you've ever overheated anything in your kiln and it shrunk up. So you'll see those.
A lot of little circles, but a quarter inch is what Pauline says. No to repair on the window. It's a lot of little circles. Have circles, but a quarter inch.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Pauline, you can get what's called, you can go to our gadgets page and drill bits, I think, and get you a set of the core bits, and you can drill those circles out if you want to.
So
Yeah, so
up
like
here.
Oh, I'm sorry. So like when we're we're drilling holes in mirrors for outlets at the shop, we have a perfect 2 1/8 inch hole saw, and we get 2 1/8 inch mirrors all day long out of it while we're cutting glass. And I have that hole saw that goes all the way down to, what is it? Probably a quarter or 3/8 of an inch. So yeah.
It's hard. We've got the camera in a different place now.
Yeah, and I'm
so
having to check and make sure. So. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm learning again.
He's reading the chat,
Gotta
and that's what
retrain
I'm
me.
doing. My chat is over here, so I'm reading it, and
Yeah.
he's having a hard time remembering.
Well, I
that.
have
He
to
has
make
look
sure
good.
that I look up, and but that's okay. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just being retrained.
We're retraining him, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's all good though. It's all good. But it's nice having everybody here tonight, huh?
Yeah, it's a great night, and thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you next week.
Shez Ray's popped in, and
Hey,
everybody's
Shez
popping
Ray.
in. If you got some questions,
Go ahead.
we don't have to go anywhere, so we're sitting right here. If you have some more questions for us, we'll be happy to answer it.
Yeah, we'll be happy to answer. Mary went to sleep, so we're not going. Y'all aren't going to get to see her again.
And it's Monday night, so there's nothing on television. So
Really? There's nothing on TV?
Nothing.
What do y'all watch?
you know
on
what's
Monday
more
night?
important than TV?
Did y'all see
These
the
guys.
Masters this weekend?
Woo!
It was pretty good.
That was good.
Wasn't as good as girls basketball.
Yeah,
though.
girls basketball. And then I think that the WNBA, the draft is tomorrow. I
Oh,
think.
is it tomorrow?
It
That should be
maybe it's
exciting.
tonight. I don't know, but we all know where Caitlin's going.
Yeah.
That's good for her. And the center for Carolina, I'm sure she's in the draft too. So
Magali said Ed is being told not to cut iridized glass, and he needs Magali's approval before cutting anything for future lives.
okay, Magali, you got it. You got it, dear. You got it. You got it.
Carol R. said she has to go to dinner, and she'll see us next week. How many Carla wants to know how many students we have in our classes.
Well, on our beginner class, we take 5. And on our lead class, our lead cane class, we only take 3. because we're gonna learn how to use the light box. First of all, we're gonna learn how to do a pattern. We're gonna learn how to make our pattern, and then we're gonna do a light box. Learn how to use the light box after we pick out our glass that we're gonna be using. Then we're gonna learn how to fabricate and miter and lead, and then we're going to learn how to solder the lead so that it looks like it's supposed to. And then we're going to put the finished product, which is a 12 by 12 window, inside of an oak frame so that it can be taken home with you. So.
Okay, Anita says she wants to take the lead class. I think there is an opening in the...
Is it August?
Maybe the August class.
But go to the Conway Glass website right there.
Right there?
Right there?
No, there.
There. There.
Right
there.
there.
And go to the Conway Glass website and go to our classes page. And I'm sure I think there's one spot open in the lead class that's in July or August. So that we spread them out so that everyone has time. You know, I am Alan registered for the lead class, and he's coming
Karen's
down.
been to the lead
Karen's
class.
been to the lead class. Jennifer Enlow's been to the lead class.
And there's someone coming. Oh gosh, where is? They were just here.
And Les and his wife
Renee's coming.
have been to the beginner class.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is. We try to spread them out enough so that you have time to make room in your schedule to come out. So
Yeah. And then we have a one-day make and take for those of you that have not done stained glass before. We do all the cutting, and then you come in and you learn to grind, foil, and finish.
Yeah, you learn how to finish. Well, do everything but cut the glass, because I take some of my.
Renee's in the August class.
Oh, okay, Renee. So I take some of my famous patterns, suncatcher patterns, and I cut them up for you and make them real colorful. And so when you come into the make and take class, you don't have to worry about cutting glass. What we do is we take care of all of that, but then I take the time to teach you how to fabricate those pieces, and you leave with a piece of work. So.
That's just a quick start way to get.
It is, and you don't have to worry about learning how to cut glass, because
which is really the hardest.
in our beginner class, we spend a lot of time learning how to cut glass, because the fabrication part is relatively simple. There are a few things to learn to do until you get to the soldering part. But cutting glass requires commitment, I think, and it also requires some skill, and I can teach you those things in the beginner class. So.
Well, we can't wait to see y'all when you come to
I know,
class.
I'm looking forward to it.
And we'll be here next week. Let's see, Janice. Okay. If you type your question, it will answer your question. Okay.
Thank
There
you,
is the link.
Janice.
Okay.
We'll try. So I wanted to make sure that I look down, because I don't want to run over Mary's foot.
Yeah, she's right here under us.
She's
Mary,
like
wake
sprawled
up.
out. She's
talk to
sprawled
people.
out, turned sideways, and just really enjoying herself. So,
Well, we're going to go try to find something on the
on the
TV,
tube,
maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know. But you guys, thank you again. We're glad that you like our new studio. And we're just going to keep adding on to it, because we're technically about 5 weeks ahead, right, Barb?
Yeah.
We're about 5 weeks ahead on the media project. But you know what? All of that came about because of you guys. So thank you again.
Thank you, guys. We
And
appreciate
we
you.
appreciate everything. And stay out of trouble, everybody. And we'll see you next Monday night. And don't forget, May the 6th, which is Monday, is Viewer Showcase. So get those windows into us so that we can load them up and see and share them with the world, everybody.
Thank you for all the compliments and the thumbs up. And remember to hit that like button. Hi, Rochelle. It's good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see
Rochelle.
you, Rochelle. Thank you.
And everyone, thank you for being here. And we will see you next week. And have a great week.
That's right. And I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.